I saw this meme the other day that caught my attention because of how seemingly wrong it is. If you're listening to this podcast on YouTube, you'll see a preview of this image right now. However, I'll go ahead and describe what the image says for our audio listeners. The meme in question is one of these, what they call reaction memes, where there is some sort of content on the top and then below is some sort of reaction image saying what the person who made the post is feeling based on the first image. So the first image says the average age for everything, a comparison. And it's got a list of these ages and what these certain actions, what the average age that these actions are first performed, according to some data. I'm not sure exactly where they got this data. So it says the first thing, so first kiss is at age 15. Then it says losing virginity at age 17. First relationship at age 18. This is the funny one. Peak of life satisfaction at age 23. Marriage at age 26. And then first child at age 26. And for this meme, the reaction image is the actor from the movie Joker crying. I assume because the person that made this post probably is over the age of some of these ages listed and is probably thinking, man, I haven't done any of these. I must be behind the curve. I must be behind everybody, behind the average, and probably feeling a bit upset and because of that, because they think they're missing out on something. And the funny thing is, they're really not missing out on anything. I mean, there's so many things you could take apart on this meme. For instance, the fact that you lose your virginity and have first kiss before you even have a relationship. That's kind of weird. You do that also before marriage. That's also kind of weird. Peak of life satisfaction, as if to say that, oh yeah, after 23, everything just gets worse and life isn't fun anymore. Like, what does that even mean, right? You could actually measure when you're the most happy. That's kind of silly, right? And of course, obviously, the elephant in the room, how early most of these numbers are, right? The fact that people are losing, their virginity, they're becoming virginless at the age of 17, right? Or they're trying to get into a relationship when they're not even out of high school. That's there's a lot to pick apart. So I kind of want to hear what your opinion is on this one.
The first time I saw that picture, immediately what popped in my mind, it was Friedrich Nietzsche and nihilism.
Right.
You heard about him, right?
Of course, yeah.
So his idea was by the time you reach 40, around 40, pretty much life is over and you should just commit suicide or you should be removed from the society. That was kind of his idea.
Notion.
Yeah. Well, the funny part, just a kind of tidbit about Nietzsche, when he was about 39, 40, he suffered nervous breakdown and I think even the stroke, but definitely nervous breakdown.
Wow.
And he was unable to take care of himself. Well, he didn't commit suicide. He let somebody, I think somebody from his family, his sister, take care of him for the rest of his life. So, yeah, it's always kind of these people's ideas. Yeah, this is pretty much kind of what he was pushing through 120 years ago, this idiotic idea. But if you really think about it, that means like all the old people supposed to, give us the wisdom and teach us the things, the older folks, right? Our grandparents and so on. They are pretty much useless and they should be just crying and just like give it up. Yeah, it's completely idiotic and person who made it, I think we talked about it before, was either, completely immature person or some college professor, which is pretty much the same thing.
Right.
And I'm sorry for that person who made it, really, really sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it has some very, very, very wild takes. Again, with how early those ages are. I mean, I understand that there are a lot of people that do actually have relationships in high school and whatnot. I'm not saying that the data that they picked is wrong, but I'm saying to want that, to desire having a relationship at an early age like that is wrong, because you're really not missing out on much. We're going to talk a little bit more about relationships in this episode, but I do want to kind of give a small little tidbit. When you're in school, I mean, you should be focusing on school, on your education. When you have a relationship and you're in school, you really can't focus and concentrate on doing the best with your education. You have just so many things to work about, because a relationship takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of effort, right? So I have never seen anybody who has been able to have a relationship in high school or in college and didn't have a problem academically. I have never seen that. They've always stumbled around academically, or their relationship fell apart. Actually, no matter what, it almost seems like the relationship falls apart, because it's not even grounded in the right relationship goals and foundations. But again, we'll also talk about that later.
Let me kind of jump in this one, because it's almost like a multitasking, right?
Well, it is, yeah.
And we can multitask, some less important things, but we cannot multitask, things as important, right? The things which takes as much energy as a relationship, studying at the university, stuff like that. It's just impossible. And, people, who try to kind of think that it's possible, well, they should figure out their priorities, because obviously their priority is not their future in life, but, trying to figure out relationship. That's kind of, and most importantly, people has to learn how to, actually live proper relationship, because obviously, majority of people, they don't know. Otherwise, we wouldn't be, such a, rundown society, at least morally nowadays, as we are, if we would know.
Yeah, well, they want to have as much fun as they can get in their younger years, because they're also dependent probably on their parents. So it's like, hey, everything is free. I want to get as much fun and pleasure as I possibly can right now.
Well, a relationship is not always fun.
It isn't, but people like to think it is.
It's a responsibility. Yeah. If people want to have fun, they should get a cat or dog or something like that. Not jumping a relationship. That's a lot of responsibility, and also, as I said, previously, it's people has to know, actually. That's why it takes so much energy and so much time, because there's certain steps, right? And jumping those steps gonna always end up in disaster, and that is depression, and just like it just snowballs,
Yeah. And actually, on the subject of pleasure and having fun, that's actually a great segue into the next topic we're going to talk about today, which is this very warped perception, a lot of modern relationships. And that is that a lot of people believe that in a relationship, love just means sex. That's it. Or, sexual activity. And that's it. They can't understand really what love is, that mutual trust, that mutual bond in trying to work together to form a family, to work toward a goal in life, right? They don't see that. They see love as, well, as long as I have sex with this person, that's how I express my love to this person. And my opinion on this is how ridiculous that is. Because the thing is, as you get older, sex is not going to be that pleasurable anymore, right? It's one of these, I don't want to say materialistic, but it's kind of an earthly desire, right? It's not something that ever is going to really truly fill your heart with joy. It's not when you get older, you're not going to be that interested in sexual activity, right? You just won't have the energy and the enthusiasm anymore, right? And that's actually why you see a lot of couples break up when they're in their 40s and when they're 50s, because like, well, this person's not interesting anymore. This person's not fun anymore. No, it's because you had the silly motive to want to have sex with this person, and that was your only craving that you had. You didn't actually have any of the building blocks needed to make a proper relationship, to actually show true love to that person. No, you just thought, oh, it's just sex. That's it. And that's why you actually see so many of these marriages fall apart. What do you think about that?
Well, absolutely agree. And sex is just purely physical thing, isn't it?
It is.
However, the love is a spiritual thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
They kind of seem similar, but they are not. And we should see those. I mean, everybody can get decent example, from the parents, or at least the mother. Everybody should have the mother, right? So the mother loves her kids not because she have the sex with them. That would be completely ridiculous, right? But it's because
I was actually going to bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you love your kids? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's got nothing to do with the physical thing. It's kind of imaginary thing, and unfortunately, it's been pushed, so many years, to our heads, like long time. Like just like watch the movies, from 1980s, 1990s, and if it tells you, we try to, prove you that it's all about just having the physical relationship, like having the sex, and everything is great, and it's going to be awesome, and it's going to be happiness forever after. And it's not, unfortunately. Yeah. So, those idiots, who were pushing that kind of propaganda since at least probably 1980s. They should, I don't know, but I would probably beat them up if I could. But anyhow, so
I would too.
It is important to understand. Yeah. What I'm trying to say is very important to understand, because, it's not just the love, true love, right? Between those, between a wife and a husband, or between the boyfriend, girlfriend, it also translates later on, if that couple doesn't learn what actually true love is, the spiritual love, right, from the inside, actually giving yourself to the other person, not just physically, but also spiritually, right? Mm-hmm. They can do it even with their kids. And you could see many times that the parents, mom, she doesn't even know how to show the love to her kids.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's going to be troublesome for her and boring for her. And, and just says, hey, I'm going to buy you, some toy, and you go play over there to the corner, and I'm going to go play on my phone.
Leave me alone, and I'll spend time with my spouse. Yeah.
Because again, even the parents don't even know anymore how to actually show the love. And that's how bad it got. So is love, true love, very important? Yes, it is. We have to learn actually how to actually to show it and what else actually even means to be in love, because being like, oh yeah, I cannot, I just found, this girl, and I cannot even sleep. I just thinking about her, I'm so excited, and just everything just seems so shiny, and I want to sing all the time and dance because I'm so much in love. Well, you are just, this is not a love, buddy. I'm sorry.
It's
you
delusion.
are just excited.
It is delusion.
Yeah. It's not a delusion, but it's just excitement, right? It's truly
it is a little bit delusion, but it's mostly because, again, all they can think of is that physical desire, right? Mm-hmm. And not actually that what we're talking about, that spiritual desire.
Yeah.
Again, that mutual bond, right? And that that trust and that work together towards that common goal, which is, or should be at least, creating that family, right? And again, you don't see that anymore, right? It's going to be very, very hard to find a couple now that, got together with the explicit intent of, oh, I wanted to start a family, with you. And it's usually this, oh, you seem attractive, or you seem, you seem beautiful. Oh, I have, hearts for eyes, right? And it's, again, it's all because of that physical desire, right? And actually, on the subject of physical desire, that's one of the mortal sins, right? Or deadly sins, right? Lust, right?
It is, yeah. And that's why, it cannot be, the sex, just the physical portion. It cannot be considered, like as a love, because why would be considered then, lust, as a love, to some people, that what it means would be considered as a mortal sin, right? So,
right.
No. But, there is, because you cannot completely, this idea that, it's hard to see around. I mean, you can see the love, but in different forms.
Right.
Right? You can see many times, especially the mothers, they have love to their kids. Even the kid is completely messed up. Even the kid, ends up in prison. Even kid is on drugs, and there is still that love, right? The mother, she would,
support,
do anything for that kid, right? It's got nothing to do with this, anything physical, nothing with the pleasure. It's just a deep motherly love.
It's definitely not pleasure. Yeah, so, I don't think the mother's enjoying doing that. Yeah. When I said that you don't see that love kind of much anymore, it's with like new couples. That's what I mean. Like, you don't see couples forming because of what I was talking about, because of that spiritual love.
Yes, you are right. Okay. It's kind of something which we talked about before many times, right? A lot of things kind of disappeared from our society, the knowledge, the wisdom, right? And one of them is actually understanding what's a proper relationship between in a couple, right? Between, the woman and the man, between a husband and a wife. What is actually the proper relationship? However, it doesn't mean that it's over, game over, anything like that. We just have to learn it, all right? We want to fix our society. The young people nowadays, they have to learn what we missed past so many decades. Because at the end, the family is the foundation, right? The family is the foundation of the society, the proper family. Meaning the father, mother, the kids is the base of any society. And if we want to save our country, if we want to save our society, then we better find actually what actually that true love is and start working on it. Good. In a picture perfect scenario, we should have that example in our parents. As our parents had it, in their parents. Unfortunately, that's pretty much gone. Most of it, unfortunately. Because the way our society lives nowadays is deviation of what it's supposed to be. But we still can fix it. It's going to be hard, very, very hard. But, the young generation, they had to realize, like, hey, just look around. Look, all that's what you got to do. Just go outside and look around. And I believe so. The majority of the people, young people, they can realize, like, well, there's something completely wrong. What is wrong with our society? It's a mess, right? It is completely a mess, especially the family portion. So you want to fix it? You don't like it? Great. It can be fixed. Start with yourself. Have a true relationship. And then once you can have a kids, show them what a true relationship is. and they're going to transfer it to their lives, and so on and so on.
And they'll
That
pass
is
that
the only way.
information on to future generations.
It is, and it's supposed to be passed. The wisdom is very, very important. Okay, because that was the true, true knowledge passed, from one generation to another. However, we talked about it before, I think. It has been interrupted, it disappeared, and in order to have our society, again, put back on our feet, we need to actually rediscover it again. That is the only way. And the relationship, as I said, that is one of the most important things. After the faith in God, the second one is that peace. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, back to you, buddy.
So given that we know these problems with modern relationships, what is actually love? In your words, as you would define it.
All right. And I will try to make it very simple. So, and I will take it back, to the parenting, right? Look at, the mother and her kids. Does she care about her feelings, her hurts, her needs, or does she care about her kids' needs? Right? That's how it should be proper relationship. When I'm going to be relationship with the other girl, the girl, then I should be thinking about what can I do actually for her. She should be our first place, not my needs, not my wants, not how I feel and all this other stuff, but her. Okay? In proper terms. I don't want to, of course, spoil her, right? Like my wife, for example. I don't want to spoil her. I don't want to make it just over too easy for her, but I want to just be nice, understanding, listening husband to her. And same thing, is expected from her. And if those both people in our relationship, they're going to be thinking first about the other person, not about themselves, then that relationship is going to grow. It's going to become something very, very strong one day. It's going to be full of understanding and love, true love, right? Rather than just thinking, about my thinking, my pains, my this, my that, I'm in pain, I want to be in love and all this. Well, then it's going to go nowhere. It's not ever going to be. It has to be that true love is kind of like almost like a glue. It brings those people together and it holds them together. And anything, the opposite of that, my own needs, me, it's like the anti-glue. It separates those people apart. So, and again, think about the other person first. And it's going to work. The first person is the one which is looking at me across the table. That girlfriend, that wife, and so on. And same for the girls. That husband, that boyfriend, that's the priority in that relationship.
Right.
And it will work.
To put the other person, to put the other partner in first place. I think you really hit the nail with that one.
Yes.
That's going to be it for this week. In the next episode, we'll talk about why money is not equal to happiness and the problems with viewing money as an end goal in life. If you have any questions, feel free to send them to us as we may answer them in a future episode. We'd appreciate it if you could follow us on all social media. And until next week, thanks for listening, take care, and God bless.
God bless and Godspeed.